everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Top 10. I am John Rocha.
I am Matt Knost.
And we are here to bring you another episode of the Top 10 show here and tackle another topic. And Matt, this is a topic. We went all the way back to the beginning of our show, to the first episode of our show. And we are doing the top 10 car chases in movies. And it's been a while since we did that one. It's been such a long time since we started the show. And there's been a bunch of other movies that have come out. And maybe there's been some time for us to revisit some of these films. And so we are doing this in honor of Fast 9 or F9, whatever you want to call it, coming out in the theaters. So that's what inspired us to go all the way back to the first episode and kind of redo our list now in retrospect.
All these years later. There's been quite a few movies that have come out in that interim that have been interesting, had good car chases, and it's been so long since we've done that. I mean, yeah, that was at my old house.
Yes,
and
I remember that.
Yeah, you asked if you could sit Indian style on my couch. Didn't know if you wanted the socks to touch. It's perfectly fine. Go right ahead if that's going to make you comfortable. It was before it got hot. That place, they just had that one little rolled up AC, so you could only turn it on for so long. And then once it got hot in there, it fucking just got hot in there.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, we didn't have to suffer through it too bad because it's not like we're in there all day.
No. But I would go there and like my button down shirts, and in the middle of the day, it would be hot for sure.
It would. Well, I'd run the AC, like get up early, start it. So it's freezing cold in there. And then after 2.5 hours of recording, it's like, dude, it's 101 outside. There's no AC running. This is only going to last for so long, you know? Entropy sets in at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm discovering that here we don't have central air in the house here in San Diego. So we run like 3 fans in the separate rooms all day. But at the end of the day, you can run all the fans you want. It's just circulating the hot air, and you're trying to get some level of like reduction of the heat. But on Tuesday, I spent the whole day building 4 bookcases, and the 3 of them are behind me here because I wanted to switch up the look of the office a little bit and kind of consolidate and make a little space here. And it was fucking exhausting in the heat in the living room with all the fans still blowing on me. I was still sweating my face off building all these fucking bookcases. And, you know, IKEA, it's like 7,500 screws per bookcase. And you're just like, so it was just all of that. But that's when I really felt the heat for the first time living down here, because it does get colder at night because, of course, it's in the southern area of the country, so it gets a little bit colder. But the daytime, in the middle of the day, I've discovered now for the first time ever how hot San Diego actually really is in the summer, man. So it's not LA. It's even hotter than LA.
Yeah, it depends on where you're at in San Diego, just like LA. Well, think about it. If you're up in the valley,
right.
Catherine and I were talking about it the other day, and she was like, a friend of mine just bought a house up there, and she was like, oh, and then 2 or 3 other of my friends have houses up in the valley. And she's like, should we have gotten a place in the valley? And I'm like, no. Trust me, every one of them wishes they were in our neighborhood, because just on temperature alone, it's guaranteed 5 to sometimes like 11 or 12 degrees warmer in the valley at all times.
Oh, yeah.
All times. So that's just, no, they do not want to be in the valley. It's a nice area. They have nice places. But it's just that temperature degree change alone. It's brutal. I lived up there for quite a few years.
Me too, man. It is. You're right. You can start out in Hollywood wearing a jacket because it's slightly nippy. And when you get into the valley, you're like taking the jacket off and putting on shorts within an hour or 2. It's insane how hot it gets in there.
A day that's like, this is bearable. And you get up to in the valley and you're like, what are you people living through? This is so hot up here. I lived up there for years up in Studio City and Van Nuys.
Yeah.
It was just you crossing over that hill and you just feel it.
My first apartment did not have AC, and so it was just like in the valley, rather, you know. So it was just like windows open all the time and door open all the time, and you're just sweating your nuts off, man. It's the worst.
Yeah, it is. It's unbearable. Well, it's not unbearable, but when you know that not far away, it's completely different.
Yes,
consistently. It feels so far away.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. And I moved to Silver Lake originally when I moved to LA from the beach in San Diego. So that was Jesus, it gets hot here for a while. Like I had to get used to a different weather pattern it's either the 3rd or the 4th week of October every year. For some reason, it gets to 100 a couple of days.
Yeah.
It had just gone through 2-3 weeks of 82.
Right.
84. It's like, it's fine. That's as hot as it's getting. And then out of nowhere, it's like it jumps up almost 20 degrees. It happens every year in Los Angeles. Whereas if you live at the beach, you don't notice that shit.
It's true. It's very true. Yeah.
It's 20 degrees over there. Or it's cooler right now, more than likely. Well, I don't know about that. It's not that hot today. But anyway, that's weather talk on the top 10.
What are you up to, man? What's going on your side of things in your world?
News? It's a whole lot of, in essence, I mean, I've been getting out more and more and more.
Oh, that's good.
So that, just doing small things here and there, but it's slowly returning to normal. Businesses haven't taken down their masks mandate.
Right.
Which is fine. I don't care. I've worn it for this long. What's a little longer?
Right.
And stuff like that. But I tried to go to one of the games, but it's a little too pricey. Just shit like that. But out to eat with friends, gonna hang out with a buddy this week.
Oh, that's good.
Stuff like that. Like, have you been up to a tremendous amount different in the past few weeks?
Not really. Well, in the fact that I'm focusing more on the channel, for sure. I just, as we're recording this earlier this morning, I was on SEN Live and, announcing that I'm stepping down from hosting 2 shows a week because I really just want to focus more on building up the channel and focus on reviews, focus on all those things that are happening here, because I found that like the more I do other things, it's distracting me from the thing I really want to focus on. So that's why I've changed the office around for the look a little bit, trying to get more interviews lined up, trying to hustle a little bit harder, do more stuff like that, the Geek Buddy stuff, all that, our stuff, Cinephiles. So it's just a lot of focusing on, okay, what do I have going on? Let's just focus on that, build it up. And then, of course, do more for the Patreons on the Outlaw Nation side of things as well. So those are the things that I'm kind of working on and creating. So it's been building up inside of me for the last few months. And a couple of things happened recently that kind of motivated me to finally kind of tell Christian what I'm doing. He was very kind to have me on today to promote it and whatever. And so it's just the move. Plus, and they're going back into the studio, Matt. I'm not going to be driving up, twice a week.
Yeah, that
makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense,
especially for what they were offering to pay me. It makes no sense, right? To drive up,
because on some level, there are days where you couldn't pay me enough.
Right, because of the traffic.
You're looking at it, you're like, oh, dude, I'm sitting in extra 90 minutes of traffic today. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, exactly. I had to go down to San Diego on 2 separate Sundays for family stuff. My sister lives down there, and like family members are in town and stuff like that. And you either go down the 5 and you're going to catch traffic at Oceanside every time, guaranteed. It adds like 15 minutes, not too bad. But there are days when it adds an hour, and you're like, all right, well, I'll go down to 15. And Sundays, there's consistent log jams at a couple of different spots. And last time the 15 was just as bad, and now I've driven out of my way to basically spend the same amount of time.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I would take that because technically then I was traveling at a faster speed overall during that duration, and that would make me happier than just sitting in bumper to bumper for a short distance.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then I've been helping Lindley set up her photography. She's finally gonna, kind of put this thing in motion. She's very focused on, being a food photographer. So she's gonna start her business, and that's kind of what we had been planning on for the last couple of years, slowly but surely, kind of putting it together. So just, it just feels like it's the time to start putting some things in motion. And so that's what I've been trying to do here, and hopefully it works out. Hopefully it pans out and all of that. So yeah, that's basically my life, and starting to go to more screenings. I just got the email last night for the Black Widow screening, but I'm going to get a link and I'm going to watch it at the house because they're not offering any screenings in San Diego. You'd have to go up. You'd have to go up to LA, and as much as I would love to go up to LA to see Black Widow, it's more convenient to watch it here. And I got a big enough television to make it work.
Yeah, exactly. And there will be some of those, if they're not having a screener by you, you're like, you know what? I am kind of willing to drive up for that one because I've been extra excited about that.
Right. Right.
If it was Suicide Squad,
yeah,
you're like
yeah,
I'm gonna drive up for that.
Yeah, that one, because I drove up for F9 on June 1st, and saw a bunch of people, recorded some cinephile stuff with Steve in person and Scott Mance, and then did the screening. So I made a day of it. Do you know what I'm saying? That makes sense. And yeah, Suicide Squad, definitely, or James Bond, or Top Gun Maverick, which I think is coming out later this year. Oh no, maybe it's next year. But either way, I would drive up for the bigger ones for sure. But the new documentary, I'm not going to drive up for that one.
As excited as I am to see Green Knight, I don't know that I would drive up for that. I would just watch it.
Yeah.
And that one looks really intriguing to me. I can't wait to see it. But
agreed.
I can wait for a link on that and watch it, on my TV.
Exactly.
The spectacle of it too. Some movies are just intended to be seen on a big screen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, and I'm not saying Black Widow couldn't be that if that's your jam.
Right. But certainly looks good.
Yeah, it does. But of all the superhero movies, if I'm going to do that for one, it's going to be Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
That one looks the most intriguing to me.
I agree.
Yeah. Black Widow, and then the one coming in the fall.
Oh, yeah. Eternals. Yeah.
The Legend of the Gold Rings or whatever.
Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. Yeah.
That one to me looks and so does Black Widow. So I wouldn't drive up for either of those.
Yeah. I'll definitely drive up for Shang-Chi, but Black Widow just doesn't seem like the one to drive up for me, but
for the first Eternals, time DC's
definitely.
The Eternals?
Yeah, that looks stellar.
Quite possibly, yes.
Yeah.
So that's cool though. You've already seen F9.
I did. Yeah. And there's another screening next week, and I'm considering going to it as well, just to enjoy it again, just to be in a theater again, man. I mean, it's been nice.
God love you. I was literally about to say, you're going to waste your life seeing that in the theater once it releases, and you're like, better than that. I managed to get in early. It's good for you, but I'm glad you like it so much. So that's cool. I'm not hating you. It's fantastic that because we've all had a shit 16 months. So to have something that you got to see in a theater and you love the living shit out of it, and now you're excited that you get to go see it again, that's a great treat at the end of this tunnel. So good for you. I'm happy for you.
It's a fun it's a fun movie too. I actually like this one. The last two I've liked more than 5, 6, and 7. So for whatever, it's not that Fast 5 is good. Furious 6 is good. And I can't remember. It's I can't remember what 7 is. Furious 7 maybe. But I felt a little bit like they tried to take it too seriously. And I think the last two films have been like, no, we're going to stop being serious about this. We're just going to have some fun here and enjoy ourselves. And so I like that they understand that they're ridiculous.
My only question is, how amazing were the magnets? Well, I mean, was it?
Look,
we got magnets, bro. Oh shit. I really hope there's little Insane Clown Posse Miracles playing on somebody's car radio. Fucking magnets. How do they work? You're like, he's just driving, pulling and pushing cars left and right.
Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny that that's in the movie, but
they put it in the trailer.
Yeah,
they're magnets. True. That's how I know.
No. The magnets are in the trailer, sure, but the Insane Clown Posse, I don't know if that's
whether or not. Oh, did I actually just hit the nail on the fucking head with that? Please tell me I'm right.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, well,
I don't know, but I will say this: they do go into space, so get ready for that. Get ready for that. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like they go into space. You know what I mean? It's like it seems as though the way you're hinting at it, it's inadvertent or it's one character. They don't all go into. That's my guess. Something gets launched into space and comes back.
Armageddon 2. It's Armageddon 2. They're all being trained to go up into space as drillers.
So what? We're firing asteroids at nukes now. We just reversed the whole plot.
Dom's just throwing them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, just tattooed across the front of it just says family, and that's what you're throwing. Family will protect us. Look at that. I don't know shit all about those movies, but I know enough to make fun of it.
I think you're directing a really good one right now as you're talking about it.
the first time I thought to do, and I'm sure I subconsciously heard it somewhere else, but when I answer somebody's question, like legitimately, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. It just gave it to him as serious as I could. I did it once, and like one buddy started laughing because he knew what I was making fun of, and the other person was like, "Okay,
right."
Sorry,
I respect
my life
that.
quarter mile at a time. What can I tell you?
I like that philosophy. That's a very good philosophy.
But
all about family. All about family.
Family. And a brother that's never been mentioned in 8 previous films.
They actually make it work. I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons why I want to go, because they surprised me with how they made it work. Look, I'm not saying it's not fucking Die Hard, but if you're going to go back to a theater to watch some fun, mindless entertainment, that F9 really hits the nail on the head. So, there are going to be reviews that are going to tear it apart like they always
Of course.
But
it doesn't matter because it's bulletproof.
True, it is. And it's 2.5 hours. It's not a short movie.
It's Transformers. It doesn't matter how bad I feel it is.
Slow down.
You know damned well that the general perception of every Transformers film is pretty dog shit.
Except for the first one. People do like
the first one and Bumblebee.
Yeah, Bumblebee. Yeah.
Outside of that, it's like dealer's choice as to what kind of awful you're looking for, in my opinion. And I haven't seen Last Night because I've seen enough.
You don't want to see Anthony Hopkins detail how the Transformers connect to King Arthur? This is some great historical stuff, man.
This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they go back in time to feudal Japan, is what it is. It's like, okay. Yeah, I can't believe the premise got stretched this thin already. But that being said, they are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The secrets of the ooze.
Turtles. Yeah, man. Do it. I love that.
At least Transformers made it this far, although that's questionable.
Well, I mean, look, in The Last Night, you also get a drunk Stanley Tucci as Merlin. So come on. It's always great to have.
That's kind of fun.
Stanley Tucci hamming it up the whole time. For sure. Yeah, playing a completely different character than he played in the previous movie, which I thought was hilarious. That's the moxie of the Transformers franchise. Like Stanley Tucci was cast as someone completely different in Age of Extinction. I think it's Age of Extinction. And then they bring him back and he plays Merlin way back in time. And in no way is it connected to the character he played before, which is hilarious.
It's a good choice. So is Turturro in this one?
What, in Fast 9?
No. In Last Night.
No, because they've got Hopkins and they've got Tucci. So they're pretty much set on the serious actor column.
Okay.
Like when they had Frances McDormand and Turturro in the same film, it's like, okay, we've checked off the boxes. We're good. And was it Malkovich in the third one?
Yes. He plays the boss of...
Right, LaBouffe.
LaBouffe. Yeah. And he's done a deal with the Transformers, and Soundwave's 2 minions show up at his place, I believe.
Well, listen to you knowing what happens in these movies.
I believe. Right. Listen, I have seen the films. I grew up on the cartoon. I loved it as a kid.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
But I was the target demographic of, we just churn this shit out and kids buy toys, and it worked. I did it for all kinds of different TV shows that were created as vehicles just to sell toys. It worked on me because I was a dumb kid, just like all kids are.
That's right.
Even the smartest kid is still pretty dumb.
Yeah, I'm just looking right now at the. No, Turturro is in
I like that. Okay, then if they bring back all the long-term staples, I'm all for Tucci coming back. Yeah,
because Josh Duhamel comes back in this one. Tucci is in this one, as I said, as Merlin. But yeah, Gemma Chan's in this. Tony Hale is in this movie as well.
I like Tony Hale.
I'm trying to see if there's anyone else of real note that would be considered for this. No, not seeing anyone else of real note there. I think that's what you get. John Goodman comes back as the voice of Hound. Watanabe is the voice of Drift. Oh, yeah. There you go. That's what I'm going to tell you.
Still not going to see it, but
it's a shame.
It's really not.
They got to get The Rock to be the voice of one of these Transformers, right? That seems like the natural progression. If they bring the Transformer, and he was the voice, I think, in one of the animated shows, or was it the G.I. Joe show where he was a voice? No, I think it was the animated show, one of the Transformers animated shows. He was a voice in that. So yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think if they're going to bring The Rock in, then they'll make him a human that
works with the
wield a
Transformers
blade and actually do like maybe not take down a Transformer, but one that could compete. So like, oh fuck, he's The Rock.
Yeah.
It's
a good point, because I was like watching one of the car chases today for the show, and he shatters a window, grabs a dude off a motorcycle, and slams him into a concrete wall. And ladies and gentlemen, his arm would have been broken 7 different times.
Well, as soon as he does that to push the dude out, the amount of muscles it would take to stabilize, as opposed to your arm just gets yanked back and torn off in the fucking window in the open cavity. But the thing is, he's so big and bulky, I buy it.
You buy it. Of course you buy it.
Look, I don't know what movie that's from, and if it makes your list, fantastic, because it sounds pretty awesome.
It didn't. I was just watching.
Yeah. I would believe it from him.
Right. That's the, I mean,
because
he's the one in Fast 8 who pushes a nuclear weapon on the ice. He pushes it with his hand. He leans out from the car and pushes it with his hand to adjust its trajectory. So,
Finn must have been pissed about that. Had to have been.
It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
I can kind of understand Vin's contention if that is something that bothered him.
Yeah. What about that? Well, shit. Vin's got nothing. Vin would have. Look, Dom Toretto should have 700 concussions, for God's sakes. The amount of times he's flown out of a car or landed on a car. He should be dead or brain dead.
I thought that was the acting choice that Vin Diesel had made from day one.
There it is.
As a backstory to the character. You sure that hasn't already been in place?
You said that. I did.
Saying the character seems to only have the same kind of few utterances that I've seen. Once again, I haven't seen the full cornucopia of 9 films.
Right.
So I'm not the expert on this. And I like Vin Diesel. Go watch Find Me Guilty or Saving Private Ryan. Great voice work, Iron Giant and Guardians of the Galaxy.
We're up to tonight. We're up to our because we do that rewatch, the MCU rewatch. We're up to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We have gotten this far, Matt.
What's she like so far?
Her favorites so far are Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy,
sure,
and Captain America: The First Avenger. She fucking hated Winter Soldier. To her, anything that has a lot of action is just not her jam.
Okay.
But conversation or humor, then she loves it.
What about, so she hasn't seen Thor Ragnarok yet?
Not yet. We're getting to that. I think that's a couple of.
She likes Guardian, like the trajectory she's on. She may like Doctor Strange.
She liked, we just saw Doctor Strange last week. She did like Doctor Strange. Yeah.
I'll be curious as to whether or not she likes Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a little worried what her opinion is going to be on that movie. So yeah. Oof.
Well, Guardians 2 is good. Hopefully she enjoys that.
Yeah, that got kind of mixed reviews. So so that is the next one, right? And then we do Spider-Man: Homecoming, then it's Ragnarok, then Black Panther. She does not want to see the Spider-Man movies, but she did like Tom Holland, so we'll see.
Yeah, she's seen Civil War at this point, so
yeah, under ruse. All right. Anyway, that isn't what we're here to talk about, Matt. We're here to talk about our top 10 car chases in movies. That's our goal today, and it's, of course, as we said, harkens back to our first episode. So, what do we do now? Tell them how the show works, or what do we do?
Yeah.
What would you like to do, Matt?
Once we set a topic, we go our individual ways. She'll come back here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade 1 apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the 2 of us.
Boom. I wonder if we'll have any commonality in there. So this could be an interesting show.
We will.
Okay. I hope so.
It's inevitable. But at 10, I know you did not put this on your list.
Okay.
It is a movie we have never spoken about.
Wow.
And I wrote down my initial list. It was solid. I could have easily kept that. Then I did a Google search and I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that movie, which is Short Time, the Dabney Coleman movie. Have you ever seen that?
Can I tell you? It was this close to making the list. I remember that movie with Dabney Coleman, and I watched that whole car chase scene on YouTube this morning, thinking I might put it on the list, but it didn't quite make it. But I'm glad it's on yours.
Forgot that movie existed?
Yeah, of course.
And I watched it because I haven't seen it since it was on cable at some point, because that's how I saw it. And it's one of those things of people of roughly our generation grew up loving movies, love Dabney Coleman, just love Dabney Coleman. So any excuse I get to watch, and you forget, I don't think to go back through his specific, filmography. Perhaps I should.
Yeah.
But he plays a cop that gets misdiagnosed with a terminal illness, but he's getting ready to retire. So he realizes that his on-duty life insurance policy will pay off only if he gets killed in the line of duty. So he keeps putting himself into situations. But he's so great about it.
Yeah.
Like it was killing me when the final showdown with the guy, and the guy, I'm just going to spoil the movie because it's so fucking old. But he throws a grenade down and he's standing there, and finally Dabney's like, yes. And he rolls between his legs and goes down and falls in the middle and explodes. And it's Xander Berkeley is the villain. And he's looking down through the stairs, and Dabney looks up and he's like, you missed me. Like, he's genuinely pissed off. And it's such a great delivery of comedic timing. He's got a few of them. There's a nice heartfelt moment with a bomber in a convenience store.
Yeah.
Just, if you love Dabney Coleman, it's Terry Garr, Joe Pantoliano, the guy that played Max Headroom.
Oh, Matt Frewer. Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have not seen that thing in 30 years?
Yeah.
25 years. And I saw it and I was like, still love Dabney Coleman. Why not? Let's put it on. It's got a great car chase.
It does.
It lasts like 6-7 minutes.
Yeah, it's like a 7. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, you're going to school, Bobby. You're going to college, Bobby. He's so determined to make this happen, man.
Oh, when he's right behind him, and the guy pulls out an AK, and it's got the front stand, the two little legs that pop out underneath the end of the barrel. And Dabney Coleman just double birds right at him. Fuck you! And the guy starts piling off shots, but it's, it looks like it's very early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah.
The look of it, the styling and whatnot, but his performance, it's a good movie overall, but I love Dabney Coleman, so why not? It's got a good car chase scene. We've never talked about it.
No, I don't think we've ever talked about it. You're absolutely right.
No.
But yeah, good stuff, and very fun. And, there was a time when Dabney could lead movies back in the 80s, and people went to see them, so he was great. He's always been a good villain and a funny guy to watch, for sure. Yeah. All right.
The best part of Dragnet, hands down, not even close. He's the best part of Dragnet, and I don't like that movie at all, but I will watch his scenes.
Oh my god, that movie is one of my fucking guilty pleasures. I love that movie.
I don't get it. That movie sucks.
Give me that. Go get my Macadine.
He is great. It's just the best. Please go watch those parts. And I kind of like the pagan rituals, whatnot, the full. The choices of the sets and whatnot. It's the hokey, but it still kind of works for me.
People against goodness and normalcy, man. Yeah. I keep waiting for that question in the Schmodown. What does pagan stand for in Dragnet? Boom. Anyway, all right. What's your next one, brother?
My 9 is Drive.
All right. That was a cut right at the end. So go ahead, man.
Okay. It's the post-robbery scene when they're going off, and it's just beautiful stunt driving, no CGI, and it's guys somewhere on PCH or something not far from here doing things in a car that I'll never do. It's really impressive when that's artistry. Or you watch those videos of people that can drive like 30 miles an hour and then hit the emergency brake and perfectly parallel park between two other cars.
Yeah.
You see that and you're like, how much practice did that take? I want to see more. And I've watched those, and basically it's the tops in their field of those type of drivers obviously work on these films. Yeah. So, going to see a movie for a martial arts coordinator, if you really got into the driving, because they don't get the opportunity as much anymore.
Yeah.
And Gosling pulls it off. You know, I believe that he's doing those driving scenes. They do a good job of shooting it in a somewhat realistic way.
Yep. He's excellent in those movies, man. He's absolutely excellent in those movies. In that movie, rather. He's absolutely excellent in that movie.
The stomp took me out of it, though. I will say that.
You mean the fight in the elevator?
Yeah. I don't want to say too much, I guess, if you haven't seen it.
Right.
I know some people that made them love it even more. And me, I was like, seemed a bit much.
But it's also got like great performances from Cranston and from Albert Brooks, who's an incredible villain.
Excellent villain. And is it Carey Mulligan is the...
Yes, Carey Mulligan, yeah. And Oscar Isaac is the dude who gets stopped. That's Oscar Isaac in the elevator.
Oh, shit, is it? I didn't even...
Yes.
It's one of those of that guy was working long before I thought he was.
Oh, yeah. He does a really good job in that moment, too. And who else? Ron Perlman's in this thing, isn't he? Doesn't he play like an associate for
I think
Albert
so.
Brooks?
Right,
I think in that too as well. Yeah. I haven't seen this one in a while. I remember loving the soundtrack because it's a lot of retro new wave 80s.
Yeah. Think Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Not as ominous.
Right. Cascade.
Yeah.
I think Autocraft is one of the groups. I mean, that got me into going into these two YouTube sites and listening to all that music. It's fucking great. All right. So then what's your 9? Oh, I'm sorry. What's your 7? Or 8?
My 8?
Sorry,
8. My 8 is Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's my 9. Perfect. Let's do it.
It's amazing to think that they did that down at the LA River. And they actually did take a big rig over an embankment and had it fall onto the ground. Like, that is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know, I think I looked it up at one point where they actually shot that. Because I was thinking about potentially going to just drive down there and see, and then you get there and it's utterly disappointing just because it's a canal. So that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a tuft of Eddie Furlong's hair cemented in the corner and be like, here's the spot. We got off a lock to commemorate. So it would just look as nondescript. If you've seen the LA River, I've seen it at various different sections from down here, downtown, all the way up through the valley.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all kind of the same. There are certain parts that are different, but it's a lot of the same.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But I mean, it's incredible. And them on a motorcycle chasing away to get away from it. And then the ever-present Arnold coming in behind with that sweet little 360 to recock.
Oh my gosh.
It's such a great little character hook.
Yeah.
Makes him all the more minutes like this old West type of individual. Pulls it right around. Yeah, it's a quality scene. I like it.
It's good stuff to re-examine because it's great performances all around from everybody throughout that whole chase scene. And the pacing of it as they go through the whole chase scene is fantastic. Just fantastic. And you're right, that moment with the cocking of the shotgun in a flip mode, you're just like, that's just brilliant stuff. But when that semi goes like through they were really destroying some shit to make this thing happen. It wasn't CG back in 92. Yeah. So that's real pieces of the LA River they are destroying to shoot these scenes. It's incredible.
It's like the jump scene for the bus in Speed.
Oh yeah.
They CG'd out the gap, but they actually jumped the bus. So when you're watching it, the first angle, I believe, it's been a while since I've seen it, but when they careen off, they actually begin to pitch to the left. And had they landed, they would have eventually ended up on their side. And obviously they cut back and it's a different take when they land and whatnot.
Right.
But to know, like, they jumped a bus. They still did it.
They jumped a bus.
Yeah. The CGI was very limited, or the James Bond corkscrew. That's a legitimate, that happened.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive that they had the balls to try it.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, good stuff, man. T2, good stuff.
It's an all-timer. So why not throw it on? A little T2 action.
For sure. Okay. So then that was your 8. That's my 9. But my 10 is Baby Driver.
That is a punt.
Oh, nice. Okay. Then my number 8 is GoldenEye.
Okay, go for
the car chase scene with the tank. Like, whoever thought you were gonna get a car chase scene with the tank, and seeing the tank do shit like you've seen, like you just mentioned, Matt, hitting that parking brake and doing the turn and doing the swerve. all of it is incredibly badass. And I just think for the uniqueness of having a tank being able to navigate these European roads as you're getting into this car chase scene, as he's trying to get back, the girl, the woman who's got the knowledge and I think she's a nuclear scientist.
The same plot of every Bond film.
Yeah, right. Basically, yeah. So,
and I'm a fan.
It's
I'm
just
not of the Pierce Brosnan, but anyway, please.
Right, but I think it's the most confident and most powerful he looks in all the movies that he does as James Bond is this tank chase scene. There's just a look on his face. It's just like controlled joy and confidence and strength and determination. And all of it, connects to what he's doing in the tank. And so for me, that was just a stellar scene. I love the pacing and the believability. They're asking you to accept that somehow this little car can't outrun this massive tank, which aren't really known for like breaking speed limit records, these tanks, but it works. And they do such a great job of it throughout. I rewatched the whole scene for the show today, and I was like, this is just stellar. And because the uniqueness of the tank is why I wanted to add it to my list.
Yeah, it's tough to think of anyone competing with that. It's a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt like I wish Pierce Brosnan had gotten a different set of movies because I don't like any of those.
Wow, really? None of them?
No.
Wow.
They all in the scope, because Bond now has existed for so long that you can go back and cherry pick all kinds of different flavors.
Right.
And it just was too cheese. It got to a point where I would prefer to see Pierce Brosnan in something closer to Daniel Craig's.
Yeah.
I would.
I could see that. Especially now, dude. He's such a great looking, grizzled, older dude. Fuck,
so good looking. It's not even fair.
You're right. If he did like a Never Say Never Again, like Sean Connery did when he came back to do that one-off, if he did a one-off Bond, I think people would lose their fucking minds to see him.
Can we get a multiverse of Bonds and we just bring back all the three living Bonds?
Why not?
And have them all do it? Yeah, and maybe that's how you introduce the next one.
That would be brilliant. Like almost like a coming out of retirement to help in the mission. Yeah.
Yeah. And some kind of like Dark Knight. Pierce comes back and he's the grizzled veteran and he teaches. I would love it.
Yeah.
He looked the part, unlike he is the perfect Bond. He genuinely is the perfect Bond.
Yeah.
And I don't care for the movies because I just think they're too cheeseball for me.
Okay.
Whereas I don't like all the Roger Moores, but there are a couple that have a soft spot in my heart and they are pure cheese. But it's because those were the ones I watched a lot as a kid.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. Absolutely.
But I'll take, I'd rather have the current or the Timothy Daltons.
I almost put the Quantum of, what was it? No. Yeah. Or Casino Royale. Well,
Casino Royale kind of has one.
The one at the end. I almost put the one at the end. Or is that, I think that's, the one at the end of Casino Royale where he's going up to the roads. I almost
flips
put
the
that
car.
One. Yeah. I almost put that one on. But then in the end, I was like, no. I like this one. I like the tank one.
Yeah, no, of those two options, I think you made the correct one. If you're just talking about a chase, this is much more interesting.
Agreed.
Even if I'm personally not a fan of the movie, I think you made the correct choice.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Well, otherwise it's got like Spectre, but nah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The plane thing is cool, but it's not quite it doesn't get it. And the Skyfall doesn't really have like a great car chase scene necessarily. There's a car chase scene, but it's not like
not the same.
No.
Yeah. The tank's a good call.
Yeah. All right. So what's your number 7?
My 7 is Bullet.
Oh yeah, definitely a classic. I tried to keep the classics to a minimum, so please go ahead with Bullet, man.
Well, you'll have more than likely another classic that I don't.
Yes. I had a feeling that would be the way it would go.
Yeah, I never been as enamored with that film as others, but I'm in the minority, so whatever. Bullet. If you've ever been to San Francisco, which you have and I have, and numerous others have.
Yeah, I've been to San Francisco 3 or 4 times, but I've never, stayed there or anything like that for an extended period of time.
Yeah. Extended period. I've been there for a handful of days.
Yeah.
A couple times, like a few times, like 3-4 days. But extended, no. but I have walked those hills, the ones that they specifically chose to have those cars fly around. And when you see it in person and then you look at the shots that they did in the 1960s, it's really impressive.
Yeah, agreed.
Just going full throttle on these streets that are as hilly as described in certain areas. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It makes it really cool and unique. But then to watch the footage in the movie as they're careening down and then launching over this one hill, and it's not like Ferris Bueller's Day Off where there's nowhere in Chicago that I can think of that I've been to that's like that. And I've been to Chicago quite a few times.
Yeah.
Whereas in San Francisco, no, that's a legitimate, you easily could. I can think of 2-3 areas that I've walked down where if you got enough speed, you definitely could get a little airborne right here. Not a problem. You could.
Yeah.
And it, McQueen was never my guy because I didn't grow up with him.
Yeah.
Like for a certain area of gentlemen, McQueen was the apex predator. Mm-hmm. But this is one of the movies that kind of makes me understand, like, oh, I get it. Had I had this at a specific age, hell yeah, Steve McQueen would have been the coolest. Throw this in with like Magnificent Seven. Like, yeah, this guy's putting together a resume.
Yeah.
Whereas I still enjoy those movies, but he doesn't have quite the same effect.
Yeah, agreed.
But Bullet, you get it. Why he was who he was.
Just the thing. Yeah, exactly. If you've never, that's the movie that if you want to know who Steve McQueen is, you watch Bullet. If you want to know who Steve McQueen was going to be, you watch Magnificent Seven. That's how you embrace this guy's career, and then you can watch, Thomas Crown Affair and the other movies. But those two movies are the ones that you really need to put on your resume if you want to discover who Steve McQueen is. Bullet. I mean, I rewatched it again for this, and I was like, I got to choose between these two. And in the end, I chose the one I chose. But it's still a phenomenal action scene, and the things which basically Michael Bay was copying for The Rock, and you just love it. It's an homage rather than a copy, I guess, but an homage to it in The Rock, and it's great. It's so great, man. I don't know how you keep your nuts, Matt. I mean, I've been over a hill. Your nuts like disappear from your body when you go too high up. So to be doing that as a stunt driver, it's an interesting experience to put yourself through, man.
Well, because there are certain points, there are places in LA there's one not far from my house where you get to the top of the hill and you can't see the other side of the road until you fully crest over the hill. There's only one by my house that's specifically like that, but every time, just keep going straight. Yeah. It's kind of like what you hear about NASCAR drivers. If there's an accident, go to the outside, hit the gas.
Yep.
So that way you get through it as quick as you can, but the debris should roll downhill. Mm-hmm. So you just like on these streets, you're like, just keep going straight. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
But every time you're like, what if some dipshit is turning? I can't see them type of, it gets you.
To go to Steve's house when I used to live in LA.
Yeah.
It's in Echo Park.
It's in Echo Park.
So it goes, there's a hill that you go, and then you cannot see over that hill. So you have to kind of hope to know. So I always veer to the right real tight against, just in case some Yahoo is coming over the hill late for work and it's going to slam into me head on. So I'm always nervous about it. And I was worried that the Prius is going to bump against the road as it goes over the hill as well. So
is that when you're going to his place? I won't say where in Echo Park.
Yeah.
But if you're traveling, is that coming from the north going south or from the south going north? You know what I mean?
Oh, from the north going south. Yeah.
Okay. So you're coming down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So to get to Steve's place from my place, I'd have to go over the hill that I'm talking about and then the hill you're talking about. I don't live too far from him. So it's 5 miles, but I know where he lives and be like, oh, okay. And if you got to come from the north, well, I'm coming from the north. So I'd have to go over that hill and then go over. So there's 2 in LA right there. So San Francisco is packed in one smaller area. And now here these guys are legitimately flying at 50-ish miles an hour. I know that they shot it at, half speed?
Yeah.
So they could double it and get to the 24 frames for the actual release to make it look like they were going as fast as they wanted them to look. So they didn't have to go intensely fast through San Francisco. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're still doing 35, 40, potentially 50 miles an hour through areas where downhill, tight hairpin curve to the left. And you could easily, if you lost the grip, fly into a house or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's impressive.
Craziness, man. Absolutely. Okay. So then what's your 6, brother?
My 6 is The Dark Knight.
Oh, the one at night. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
take it away, my man. That's
For
a
the
great
uniqueness
scene.
of, you really brought to life what the Tumbler was.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
It's an update of a Batmobile that is really impressive because it become kind of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's going to be the new Batmobile? And I did it too, because you were expecting, like, are they going to, they added fins, these big elongated. So is this going to be cartoonish? And then you see the Batmobile and you're like, what a great representation of him having access to certain technologies, but it's just barreling through Chicago. And then they're up against semis where they're firing rockets out of the semis. It's kind of like your tank thing.
Yeah.
It's so unique. And it's an impressive scale that they do that Chris Nolan packed into a small space.
Mm-hmm.
It's this tiny little enclosed area, and yet the set pieces feel big, huge, dramatic, and over the top. And they're kind of not, kind of are, considering this is a military. It's like a hybrid on steroids. A Hummer on steroids. It's badass, though. Don't you believe that's the first one with a jet engine where you're like, it kind of makes sense why it would have it?
Totally, because I mean, when Dark Knight Returns came out in the mid 80s, I think every Batman movie or project has essentially chased that dragon ever since. And when you look at the Tumbler here in The Dark Knight, remember there's that line in Dark Knight Returns where Bruce Wayne is remembering how Dick Grayson called it a Batmobile, because in his mind, it was this massive big thing, this Batmobile, and he was a kid. So when you see the Batmobile in Dark Knight Returns, it's this massive fucking thing, the tank almost. And so, but you can't have that. It's too fantastical for the really grounded tale you're telling in The Dark Knight. So you have to take elements of it and make it still somewhat spectacular in its appearance and, brutal and strong. But you can't go that far out. So I think the Tumbler perfectly encapsulates that situation in Dark Knight Returns. It's so good.
So it's the beauty of it is it brings in ridiculous comic book technology into the real world, because he goes down and he's firing like grappling hooks to wrap around corners and doing all this really cool shit, which why would you ever need that really technically in war? You know what I mean? If you're developing that capability, why don't we pull that off and either put on some more plating or figure out some sort of, something else. But then he's got those little missile things. Yeah. And it turns into the motorcycle as like the self-destruct kind of mode. It just one, on top of the other. And then the motorcycle comes off and you're like, I'm actually buying into the reality of this. And it extends that chase all the more. And to end on the Joker, come on, hit me. to somehow be as even more menacing than the Tumbler into motorcycle Batman trifecta. Yeah. And I fear him most in that scene.
Well, and I think that's what brings that scene to life, not just the machinations of the Batmobile, but also the fact that Joker is just like adamant to try to make this confrontation happen in the 18-wheeler, and this when he jumps out and all of that, and the big long gun, which is a nice echo to Jack Nicholson's joke. Yeah, exactly. All of that just works so perfectly. And it's a great scene. Absolutely. Good choice, my man.
All right. So that's my 6.
Okay. So then my number 7, I know it's not on your list, is Furious 6. The car chase scene where they're essentially the whole crew is going after Shaw, and I don't mean Jason Statham Shaw, but the Luke Evans' Shaw, and his team is going after them. So it's a car chase scene with teams of cars chasing each other, coming after each other, and essentially equals in this whole situation. So it's incredible. And then you find out just when things couldn't get any like higher in terms of the amount of cars involved and the drama and tension, all that. Luke Shaw's character, Luke Evans' character, Shaw, I think it's Deckard Shaw, comes in with these cars that elevate. Like they scoop under cars so the cars go off the ramp.
Oh,
so
sure. It's like it's battle bots.
Yeah, they're like essentially. So they're cars with these ramps attached to them on the hood, and they lower them. And those are the things that are supposed to, if they ram into you, kind of send your car into a wall. It's brilliant. And so throughout the whole chase scene, it's just incredible how the tension builds and the danger builds throughout as you're seeing these teams of cars going at each other. So yeah, that's why I put it on my list. I love it.
Yeah, that's a fun, inventive idea.
Yeah, I mean the I know Fast Five is the one people love with it, but to me the safe becomes like, this is ridiculous. This is like $10 billion worth of damage. You might as well just let them take the safe. Like, it doesn't fucking matter by the end of that chase scene, you know.
That's not even the problem I have. I've seen that one, and that's not even the problem I have with that. I agree with you. Just flying around, they would. The collateral damage, the insurance companies, the city, everybody be like, just fucking take the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so six I have not seen. I do like the name Deckard Shaw. That's a strong name.
Yeah. It's Owen Shaw and Deckard Shaw. So I think that's the names.
I don't like Owen Shaw. I think Deckard Shaw. But think about it, Blade Runner Jaws, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, true. Oh, I see the combo. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's a strong, like, subconsciously you're sending like, this is a fucking man. Yeah. Like, all right. And like, maybe he's half robot, but he is a machine. Like, he's coming at you. And he also has a lust for death like Shaw.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm guessing from that name. That's a solid name. Owen Shaw, dog shit. That is a bad
name. I love it. What is his name? I want to make sure I get it right. Oh no, he does play Owen Shaw. My bad. So then does Jason Statham play Deckard Shaw? Is that correct on that? Did you know there's a wiki for Fast and Furious? I don't know if you knew.
God, that makes sense. I mean, there's 9 films, man. There's a wiki for everything if you want it to exist.
Yeah, so Deckard Shaw. Yeah, Deckard Shaw is Jason Statham. So I guess they gave him the cooler name, dude. So,
well, I forgot that from Hobbs and Shaw. I learned that information and immediately summarily dismissed it from my brain. Don't need that.
Oh, right. This is the one with Carano, right? Carano's in this one too. And she barely speaks in that movie until she fights.
That's for the best.
Yeah, sometimes it really is. But yeah, so yeah, Owen Shaw is who he is in the movie and everything that does there. It's pretty cool. So, all right, so that was my 7 rather. Then my 6 is, I couldn't resist. I know it's back to back here, but the Hobbs and Shaw chase scene with the helicopter at the end of the movie. Is that on your list? Okay, it's not on your list.
So terrible.
It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, but I'm like, a fucking helicopter that you throw a hook around and all of that.
He fucking lassoed a helicopter.
It was brilliant.
It's utterly ridiculous.
Just for the nuttiness of it. I mean, they're hanging off the edge of that Hawaiian highway and stuff like that. So to me, just all of it, because of course it starts out with the battle there between the families and the villains there on their own ranch, and then extends out into the car chase scene. So you're already hyped up from the battle, and then they add the car chase scene to give it even more heft. And then you get, after they land and fall all the way down the crevice, then you get the fight with Idris Elba in the rain. So it's just an excellent scene or series of scenes. But that car chase scene, just for the uniqueness of a helicopter, man, I had to put it on my list too. So there you go. That's what I would say.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
All right. So I know you have nothing to contribute. So let's
I didn't hate the movie. I will say that.
I know you liked the movie.
I didn't like it. I just didn't. It wasn't as awful as it could have been.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
To me.
That's fair. All right. So we're about to jump into our top 5. Matt, should we take a little bit of a break to hear ourselves promoting stuff?
That's right. Let's take a quick break and hear this word from our sponsors.
All right. As we're coming back from that, Matt Knost, some news just breaking here. Do you want to chime in on this a little bit? Rick Carlisle not returning as Mavericks head coach. He just dropped on ESPN.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. There was rumors.
He apparently informed Mavericks owner Mark Cuban on Thursday that he won't be returning as coach next season. He had 2 years left on his contract. Interesting.
So Carlisle is leaving. Well, there's discussion of if the Nuggets, pardon me, not the Nuggets, but the Bucks flame out, that Carlisle wants the Bucks job.
Really?
But I didn't think a week ago or a week and a half ago, Cuban was like, if you can find me, 4 coaches that are better or whatnot that I can interview right now than him,
yeah,
I'll do it. But those people don't exist. It was a compliment of I'm sticking with them. So that, I don't know. It'll be interesting because the Athletic dropped a scathing article about the front office of the Mavs, and then this a power play from Luka, and he wants a different coach in. So maybe Carlisle, to save face and to potentially hunt other jobs, agreed to resign.
Yeah, because Donnie Nelson, this is on the heels of Donnie Nelson resigning yesterday or being let go yesterday after 24 years with the Mavericks or whatever. So, there was all that drama around the Mavericks in their front office and the sexual harassment stuff and allegations.
True.
So there's a lot of drama. Maybe Rick was like, you know what? Maybe you're right, Matt. He saw the writing on the wall. He saw Luka maybe not happy with him. So, do your thing and see how successful you are without me. And roll.
I've heard a lot of storylines.
If I'm the Lakers right now, I drop Vogel in a heartbeat and go get Carlisle. Not even a hesitation. I go get Carlisle.
You blame Vogel for this year, really?
I'm not blaming. I just never thought he was that great of a coach anyway. Like he's a mid-card coach. He's a mid-tier coach. LeBron and Anthony Davis, I could coach that team to a fucking title. So it's just like it's not that big of a deal.
Well, let's not go too far.
Matt, you could coach him. You understand the basics of basketball, if not more than the average basketball fan. I'm sure you could have coached them to a title. It's not that difficult.
No, because it's not just X's and O's. There's so many. You got to massage egos. You got to know when to push guys and ask what of your superstars. How much do you practice? How much do you not practice? What should be the ethos of a team? I've never done it. There's no way I could do it. I'm saying from right now, if I went through a mentorship program and became an assistant coach and learned how to run an organization, yes, I believe that I could, because I do watch a lot of basketball and I have an understanding of the fundamentals. But I think that's 8-10 years down the line.
Okay, fine. But either way, I don't think it was that difficult of it. Just like I don't give Tyronn Lue any credit for winning.
Exactly. I was literally about to say the same thing. Yeah. I don't know if Ty Lue's a good coach or not.
Yeah.
Because LeBron was the coach.
Yeah, and if Rivers flames out with these Sixers again after blowing 2 20-plus point leads back to back, I don't think Doc Rivers is that great of a coach.
That was brutal.
Yeah, dude.
That was fucking brutal.
I love the first the first paragraph of the Ringer article about it, and the guy's talking. He's like, "I went to wash dishes. I thought it was over. I come back, and it's like, what the fuck?"
I almost walked away because Catherine and I were trying to figure out dinner stuff, and I was like, "You know, this game's kind of getting out of hand. I can make dinner tonight because I haven't done it in a while because of basketball." And then Atlanta started fighting back in, and it was a two-parter, man. It was they had to come back for the first. They were down by, I think, as much as 26 points, but
26
being 24 at various times. When it got down to, it was fluctuating on 10, 12, 9, 12 in that area. They got back to that, and then Philly collapsed and let them back in the rest of the way. And it was just their offense came to a screeching halt. All of a sudden, it's everything goes through Steph Curry, and then he dishes out to Embiid. They're the only ones that made a shot in the second half, but Tobias Harris was completely absent from the offense entirely. I don't know what the decision was there. They had to sub Simmons out, which is smart because he was 4 of 14 from the line. He took one fucking shot in the second half in this game, and he took one fucking shot in the second half of the last game. That's 2 shots from your all-star over 2 second halves of back-to-back games. I don't know what's going on here. This team is weird.
They did his stats. His free throw shooting. The only 3 other players in the playoffs, in the history of NBA playoffs, have shot worse than him. Free throw shooting.
I'm not surprised.
And it was fucking Shaq is one of those people. Like you do not want to be in a conversation with Shaq about free throws with your statistics if you want to be considered an all-star.
So it doesn't.
That's a great point. Yeah, Shaq did. Yeah, certainly, because he had.
So if you can overcome it, I don't know. But anyway, good luck to you, Mr. Carlisle. I'm sure you'll find a job pretty lickety split.
The Wizards are available. I'm just letting you know.
The Wizards are available.
We let go of Matt's older brother, and now come on in.
The Wizards are available. Hey, you just got done coaching the next generational star. It sucks you had to walk away from that. How would you feel about coaching 2 aging stars? And
how dare you? How dare you?
One is on the tail end, more than likely.
He just broke the triple-double record. What are you talking about, tail end?
Yeah,
he's got 5 more years.
You're lying to yourself. He does not have 5 more years.
He's got 5 more years.
I think he's got
motor.
At this level, I think he's got 2, maybe 3.
You're an insane person. That motor of his and his talent has gone nowhere, dude.
Yes, but his jump shooting is not good enough to justify it. And once he loses his step, that is his best athletic advantage, is the fact that he can blow past you and dunk in your face pretty much anytime he wants.
That's true.
And as soon as that's gone, now you're watching Westbrook shoot a bunch of threes, and that's not a good thing.
I'm not going to disagree with you. You're right about that.
So anyway, if you're looking for a job, you should headhunt, get 10% on this. Hey, Carlisle. Inside scoop. But good luck to you. I hope you sign him.
I read somewhere the Bucks are going after Spoelstra. I'm like, there's no fucking way.
I would love to have Spoelstra.
Do you think Spoelstra would leave to go to coach the Bucks?
No, he's just part of is the identity. He could end up being Pat Riley there.
Yeah, right. There's no way.
Why give that up? Why give it up? He's got one of the best jobs in basketball.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm LeBron, I'm calling Jeannie Buss right now. I'm saying, get me Rick Carlisle. Frank Vogel can go coach the fucking Bucks. Let's go get Carlisle.
We'll see.
Anyway, all right. Thank you for being patient with our NBA playoffs or NBA.
Back to car chases.
Let's go to car chases. I'm going to grab a Diet Coke, Matt. You go ahead, jump into it. What's your number 5?
My 5 is Ronin.
Yeah, I took that off my list. Go ahead, man. Knock yourself out. I'll be right back.
Not a fan of Ronin, huh? Doesn't like classic car chase movies. That's fine, man. So it's De Niro in a weird kind of time for De Niro. It's like it's on the tail end of doing nonstop prestige projects, and he's kind of getting more into meat and potatoes movies, which I'm not saying Ronin is straight meat and potatoes, but it's not elevated to the level of everything needs to be an Oscar caliber kind of movie. Sometimes you can make just a badass action film. And it was one of the first that I saw as a kid where you're kind of like blown away by how good the driving is throughout. And then they throw in some ridiculous stuff, here and there on top of it. But the reality of the driving from it is it's pretty sweet. And it's a nice action film. If you've never seen Ronin, do yourself a favor. Who else is in the cast? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I will find out in 1 second for you. Try and be express a modicum of professionalism on this show. So we've got De Niro, Jean Reno, Stellan Skarsgård, Natasha McElhone, Sean Bean, and that's probably Jonathan Pryce. Like, it's a solid cast.
Hell yeah. It's just
Talk
not a
about the
well-directed
merits of-
movie. It's just
What's
not a
that?
well-directed movie. Frankenheimer does not direct that movie well.
I think, yeah, but I think that's debatable.
Okay.
I'm not saying he crushes an all-timer, but I do think he makes a good movie.
Yeah, no, I think he does. He's made good movies, clearly. I mean, he did. I mean, the original Manchurian Candidate. But I just think this film is not a strong film. But that being said,
Yeah, but
the car chase scene is good.
the car chase scene is good, and this movie doesn't have the expectation of winning an Oscar. It's not supposed to be up for
Right.
an Oscar. It's supposed to be an action film with a little bit of like espionage aspect to it.
Yeah.
Kind of, so the car chase scene fits in. I think they deliver their product. It's just not one of the best within that genre.
Yeah.
Still good.
He didn't do much after this. Like, he did this in Reindeer Games, and then poof, nothing.
Well, that's because Reindeer Games is definitely not good.
Oh, that is terrible, man. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. But he also had done Island of Dr. Moreau, taking over.
Took over
96.
for, and it was a Doom production.
It was.
I blame everybody and no one for that movie because they all seemed like they were miserable. So they're all at fault, but perhaps production should have just stopped because De Niro and Val Kilmer were at all time of their apparent douchiness.
Yeah, they were. They were.
And just getting into fights and not trying and being children.
He did 3 really good films back to back to back to start his career. Birdman of Alcatraz, Manchurian Candidate, and 7 Days in May. Those are fantastic films. Those are classics.
Yeah.
So, he certainly laid the groundwork for his stuff. But yeah, I mean, to me, I almost put it on the list. Where am I right? Did I take it off? I think I took it off this, right? Yeah, I took it off the list. I'd had it on the list, but then I took it off because I'm like, I find the movie kind of boring and the car chase scene a little bit boring.
Okay.
Because it's De Niro doing this the whole time with his double chin and that, but I like Natasha McElhone because it's rare to see in car chase scenes that a woman is driving the car, right? That's a rare thing. And I think Natasha, who is an all-time beautiful actress, classically beautiful actress, is great in this role with the brake and moving it around and swinging all this and these tight European streets. But it's just at times I feel like some of the De Niro thing becomes comical, with how he's
okay.
But that's my only complaint about it. Other than that, it's an incredibly well choreographed car chase scene. I just felt like, I didn't need to talk about this one, but I'm glad you put it on your list, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, that was your 5. So then my 5 is Mission Impossible 5 Rogue Nation, the car chase scene.
Right. Go for it. I'm going to use the restroom.
Okay, go ahead, man. we take turns here. But that one is one of my favorites when he's just been brought back to life as Ethan Hunt after he's been quote unquote dead again, just like he was in Mission Impossible 3. And he gets into the car with Simon Pegg. And what he does throughout that whole car chase scene, driving all through those streets, smashing the things. And of course, he's chasing Rebecca Ferguson, who's on the motorcycle, and what she's got going on. Because, of course, remember, they were connected in the previous film. So they've got all that going on throughout this whole sequence. And then it ends with him driving backwards into a parking lot over some stairs and spins up onto his head. But the whole time he is completely still recovering from what he's been through, and so it adds that element that you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to stay alive through the car chase scene at all. And then by the time it ends, you've just been through a hell of an experience with him and with Simon Pegg. And of course, Jeremy Renner and Ving Rhames are in the other Humvee, monitoring the situation, chasing down the situation, and being alongside them. But just Tom Cruise's acting throughout this car chase scene is brilliant, because most of the time in car chase scenes, right, people are driving the car and they're in control of their car, or as I said, they're pulling the De Niro thing where they're a little kind of freaking out while it's happening. Tom Cruise, the whole time as Ethan Hunt, is trying to get control of his brain as he's driving the car. So it adds a fogginess to this element. As opposed to being a confident driver of the car, he is an unstable driver of the car, and that adds the tension to the car chase scene that I think makes it super excellent and better than any car chase scene in any of the Mission Impossible movies. So that's why I wanted to put it in. It's an unusual driver in a car chase scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
My number 4.
Okay.
It's the punt from earlier, Baby Driver.
Nice. Which, the one after the bank scene with Ham and Bernthal, or a different one?
Honestly, don't care.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because I like the opening. It's a good introduction to him as a character, and how much music plays a part in the movie as a whole. It intertwines so beautifully. Edgar Wright did a great job. But between that, and then the later robbery, both excellent car chase scenes. You know what I'm talking about? Just flying through areas, emergency brakes, and it looks completely real. It does not look ridiculous in any way, shape, or form.
No, right.
And I also love that finally got a really good Ham performance in film. I like him a lot, and it's been hit and miss, and mostly miss in film.
Yeah. You're not wrong. He doesn't exude that kind of badassery that people thought he might exude when he made the transition into film. Because in The Town, he's pretty much a cuckolded guy the whole time, or he's just emasculated, I guess. Yeah.
It's not the best. And Bridesmaids, whatever, he's being a dick in a comedy.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm sure he was excited to do it. But this is finally where, okay, Ham's got something. He's always had a magnetism and a charisma. There just hasn't been a good, there's the Day the Earth Stood Still. Wasn't he in that with Keanu Reeves?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. He's in the upcoming Maverick. I hope he's good in that. I've always liked him on Mad Men, although I watched all of it. I felt it's ultimately kind of unfulfilling.
Yeah. The ending? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I just think the show as a whole overall.
Okay.
I still like it, and I'd go back, definitely watch some of my favorite episodes. But I don't know that I would ever sit down and watch the whole thing start to finish.
Well, it becomes Peggy's story as the thing goes along.
True.
And I enjoy that. I actually, don't have an issue with that. And certainly kind of showcases that Elizabeth Moss can carry her own series, which eventually she does in Handmaid's Tale, right?
Okay.
So, but I hear what you're saying. Do you know what I'm saying? The John Hamm story kind of peters out as things change, and maybe that's not as satisfying when you've been connected to the character for so many seasons. Yeah.
Well, I think the best scenes are him and Peggy when she's coming up.
Totally.
They're back and forth, that she bristles but wants more and knows that she can do the job. And I think that's where the show was at my favorite part of it. And it's a natural, they grew up and they moved and they changed as people do.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's some stuff in the later seasons that I thoroughly enjoy. Just anyway, neither here nor there. But yeah, Baby Driver. Thankfully I got to see that movie before the hype had fully set in.
Oh yeah, so you could just enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have liked it as much if everybody said, "Oh, it's so amazing," because right after that, people were building it up because it was just everybody liked it that saw it and was recommending.
Yeah,
and then whoever saw it on the tail end of that, it may not have lived up to that kind of burden.
Right.
But I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
just blown away. Just
seeing him or just seeing the sequences when he is able to navigate the LA streets the way he is. And then in those alleys and in the spins around trucks and around those different vehicles, it is stellar stuff to watch. And it's so all to that soundtrack and him listening to the music, not talking to anybody. And they're all just kind of reacting to all the crazy shit he's doing and seeing all those cars, police cars. And then by the end, you're like, wow, it earns the belief that he got away. It earns the belief that he snuck in or got into that parking garage and switched cars. At least the scene I enjoyed the most in terms of car chase scene. And Ham and Bernthal, and I think it's Gia Rodriguez on the back just going like, what the hell is happening? So overall, I think it's just genius what they were able to do with that car chase scene. And Ansel Elgort plays it so well, so well, man.
I didn't know that he was so disliked until after the movie.
Yeah, and of course there have been accusations, of course, recently too, of some inappropriate sexual stuff as well with him. So I wonder how they're going to navigate that with West Side Story coming out in a little bit. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
We shall see. Yeah, I don't really know much of the guy's work, so.
Yeah, he's no Alex Pettyfer. Everybody hated him. All right, so that's your 4.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so then my 4 is Death Proof.
Go for it.
Yeah, the Quentin Tarantino car chase scene in Death Proof. And if you want to watch the whole movie, I recommend you watch the whole movie instead of the Grindhouse, which is about an hour and 10 minutes of the movie. The full movie, I think, is an hour and 25 minutes, but there's more of the car chase scene at the end. And it's fantastic. You got Zoe Bell, who, of course, is Tarantino's stunt woman. She's played small parts. She's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's Kurt Russell's wife, I think, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But like in this movie, she is hanging out with her girls. And this is, of course, after we've gotten that first part of the movie where stuntman Mike kills Rose McGowan in his car. Now he is kind of threatening these girls after having watched them eat at a luncheon. And this is Tracy Thoms, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and I can't remember who the other girl is, but they're all in the car here. And Tracy Thoms, as I said, a rare thing where a female is driving. Tracy Thoms is driving the white car, which is, of course, is an homage to Vanishing Point and Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. But Zoe Bell is on the hood of the fucking car as Kurt Russell is coming up with his car. And it is incredible, the stunts. That's some real stunt work. You actually see her on the car, get hit by the car, then roll over, holding on to the essentially the seatbelt thing that is attached to the inside of the car. It's incredible work overall. And I love the way it builds up. I love how scared you are the whole time. And I love how real it is to possibly hurting Zoe Bell, or because you rarely see that where the stunt person is very obviously the person that is in danger, because most of the time it's just in the car. You just see from above the car or outside the car, and then you get those occasional shots that are tight shots. But this is full on just seeing Zoe Bell. And then the way Tracy Thoms kind of navigates the situation to get out of stuntman Mike, and the way he's like hanging back, coming up, hanging back. And then what it leads to when they finally get the best of him is fucking great. So just overall, one of my favorite car chase scenes now to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen the movie.
Really? Shit. All right. Then what's your number 3?
My 3 was technically my number 1 on our first iteration.
Oh, okay.
Which is The Road Warrior.
19
Mad Max 2.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Pretty much the whole movie's a car chase.
Yeah, once they leave the place, yes.
Yes. In essence.
Yeah.
And it is just awesome. I mean, that's just flat out awesome. So many ridiculous over the top characters that I can't believe that it got through enough phases within pre-production.
Yeah.
Because it's not like this is the first one where they did it on a completely shoestring budget. They had more money on this one, hence the number of vehicles and whatnot. So they put time into what each character set is going to look like and whatnot. And going to film and saying, this is exactly how I envisioned it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's still working because it is off the wall. This post-apocalyptic bondage on wheels flying down. And so it does make it more menacing and all these, I guess it adds to the overall craziness of the characters that are hunting down because they want that fucking gas.
Yeah.
Give me that gas. And there's the weird people over on this side who are, think of themselves as altruistic, but they're more than willing to sacrifice Max to get what they want. So how pious can you really be?
Mm-hmm.
You're still dealing in death, just not on the scale that these guys are willing to do it.
Right.
So it's got some nice, balance there between the two. And it is just nonstop. We're chasing, we're driving around, explosions, helicopter thingy out of nowhere. Just awesomeness left, right, and center. I love that movie.
I do too, brother, man. It's one of my favorites. It's one of I actually, as we talked earlier in another week, I think I watched that movie obviously before I watched the original Mad Max and then swung around to Thunderdome. Mm-hmm. But this was the one I had on VHS and I played it over and over and over again. Just loved it, the scene the whole time, and you find out at the end what the twist is about that whole truck car chase scene in essence.
Yeah.
And all that he has to fight off. And you see all these characters who you have connected to throughout the movie go down as they're trying to protect what's on the truck. And Lord Humongous and how that all ends up, and the dude
name,
with the
Lord
Hoff.
Humongous.
It's just
ridiculous.
A great name, right?
It is awesome. But then the way he's dressed,
yes,
and to call him Lord Humongous, it's so many different choices that really feel like it should fail. Mm-hmm. You just suffer under the weight of its absurdity.
Yeah.
And yet it doesn't. It fucking sings. Yeah, the guy with the mohawk.
Yeah.
With the androgynous, I believe that's a guy behind him.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, what is going on? This is awesome.
You can run, but you can't hide. Oh, I just love it.
That guy with his just craziest eyes you've ever seen on film.
Oh yeah.
And when mohawk.
I think he showed up in Weird Science after that movie, as well as one of those guys that they call in at the end, the biker guys that take over the house. He's one of those dudes. So it was great to see him be a part of it. And so it's awesome. And yeah, you're right, dude. I mean, this is one of my favorites, bar none. I almost put it on, but I had to choose between the two. And so I did not choose that Road Warrior one because of recency bias. But I just absolutely love that scene, man. It's so good. The gasoline. And Mel Gibson does a great job as he's half an eye is like swollen and he's doing his best. And then the feral kid is in there as well, which throws a whole nother X factor into the movie, And I love the part of the car chase scene when they remove all the sound because the music's been playing the whole time.
Sure.
They remove all the sound when the kid is on the hood and he's trying to reach for the shotgun shells and you hear the just brilliant choices, man, all around for sure.
So that is my 3. What do you got?
My 3 is Mad Max Fury Road. That's my 3.
That is called punt. You said you had to make a choice. I chose not to make that choice.
Yeah, it's your list. I respect that. So then what's your 2?
Is The Bourne Identity.
Oh, that's a great one. Oh, dude, I was so close. So close. Go ahead, man.
I think it was the first time that I can recall in the theater just being utterly blown away by a chase scene.
Yeah.
Car chase scene. Because it just looks so real. And these tiny little minis flying down and downstairs. And like the damage that it's taking, it just seems like this tiny little mini tank as it drives around, but it all feels exceedingly grounded and believable. I mean, we just saw Matt Damon turn into a robot killer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this calculating, can size up any number of individuals in any room and whatnot over there. But it's a good build to it as well. But putting it through its paces, backwards, forwards, flying around, it has the perfect amount of energy and mania for a car chase scene. It only get eclipsed by one other for me. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. It's one I watched it again for this for our list again, and it's just, I mean, Damon is so confident in that role, and you're watching him do his thing in that movie, in that car chase scene, and it is stellar. I think it's even better than the Italian Job car chase scene, which is a good car chase scene, the remake, which is a good car chase scene when you're talking about minis. But this one just absolutely puts you right inside that car as you're feeling it as it's spinning around, doing all the things that it's doing. So yeah. Sorry, 1,000% agree with you. This is a great choice, bud.
All right, so that's my number 2. What do you have?
Well, that's my classic. Number 2 is my classic film, The French Connection. That's where I put at my number 2.
Sure.
The same guy who did the stunt choreography or the car chase choreography for Bullet, the same producer rather, for Bullet, when French Connection came around and everyone was lauding how great Bullet was. He said, I'm going to one-up it. And that's when he did the French Connection. And we've talked about this scene a number of times on the show. And I'd be remiss not to put it on my list, and certainly near the top, because it is what has inspired pretty much that Bullet. It pretty much inspired all the car chase action scenes we've gotten since that time. And remember, this is like 1971 when French Connection comes out. Yeah. And it still holds up as a car chase scene. It's manic. And as Matt said on another episode a few weeks ago, like Friedkin, they knew they couldn't get the permits to do what they were going to do. So they just kind of did it. And some of the stuff in the film is actually real. Like when he gets hit by a car, that legitimately happened. That wasn't choreographed. He legitimately was hit by the car. So all the stuff that's going on there, and Hackman is so great. The frustration, the rage, who hasn't felt that way at some point in our life when they're trying to get to something and everything's in the way and it's delaying you getting there. And he is just like fucking fuming. It's the worst case of road rage you're ever going to see as he spins all around. And he almost hits that woman in the stroller. And, there's a few sequences where he's almost taken out of commission. And the way that all ends, where he gets there on time to confront the guy he's been chasing, who is calmly taking the subway, just brilliant stuff, man.
I don't know. It was built up to be the best, and then you see it and it's not.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
It's, it's like, not to take a shot across your bow, but Citizen Kane, the greatest movie ever. And then you see it and you're like, okay. At least I did. And I was like, I get what you're saying, and I appreciate all the technical aspects of it and whatnot. And then the stakes of trying to do this film at that time, all the background and everything about it, I find interesting. But the movie doesn't have. It's just when you build it up to those kind of expectations, it's really tough.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel sorry for you because it is.
I know. That's fine. Animal House, the funniest movie of all time. And then you see it and you're like, is it?
That is not the funniest movie.
I know, but that's all I heard as a kid. And dude, that's the funniest movie of all time. Like, that's my number one comedy. And then you see it and you're like, okay.
Caddyshack is number one comedy. That makes more sense to me.
Oh, not even questioning. I would take Caddyshack in a million times. Like, I would never ever choose Animal House.
No. Okay, so that's my 2. And so your 1 is the punt from earlier. All right, go ahead.
Is Fury Road.
Yeah.
Just right when you think you can't top Mad Max Road Warrior. Take it to a degree. Yes, it has all the action elements that you're used to. And now you're bringing in these fantastical set pieces and colors. When that storm comes in, it's this big cyclone of purples and lightning and orange flashes and reds. And it is one of the most beautiful things you can behold if you see it on a large screen.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous, stunning. And meanwhile, what is it? Nicholas Hoult is driving the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he gets taken out of the moment of the mania of what they're trying to do and kind of looks over it and appreciates the beauty within the power. Like, he's in awe of this destructive force.
Yeah.
And then like the reality sets back in and they have to get back to what they're doing. And that's one aspect of an amazing car chase sequence. Yeah. Like when she first pulls off, and I love the little code that she has with all the, basically her, oh my God, it's not a supply line. It's her security force.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like putting destroyers around a battleship.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I can't think of what that term is called, and I'm going to kick myself later when I do.
Okay.
But they have like little shorthands for that, and they become like kind of this fleet. Oh, detour. We're not going to such and such, but they have to square off later on. And then Emerton Joe, when he's coming in and all his genetic mutant offspring, it's just weirdos. And I Will Ride, Eternal.
Yeah.
It's just the build. It's another one where I don't know how he manages to put all these bananas ideas, cram them together, and it works unlike anybody else could do it.
He's built to direct these films, man. He's
100%.
just built to direct these films, George Miller is. And he understands, almost better than any director who has consistently done installments of a franchise. He understands his franchise better than almost any other director.
Yeah.
As I just said, who's done multiple installments, because he knows how to make it come to life. And look how long we waited between Thunderdome and this film for a Mad Max film. And it was worth the wait, because he took whatever we'd enjoyed about Road Warrior in that car chase scene. He took it and went even farther up. And yet again, here's, and again, this is a woman driving the main car on that side with Charlize Theron, Furiosa. And you see all the elements are involved here and the characters, right? She's got the women in the back. She's got Nicholas Hoult and all those crazy dudes who are like, hopped up and they spray their teeth silver and they grab the wheels. And then you're seeing Homie with the guitar and the swinging around. And then just like you said, Matt, the element of the dirt or the windstorm, whatever it is coming through, the sandstorm rather, coming through it visually, it takes you to Nirvana, man. Like visually, your mind goes right to Nirvana because of the colors and the elements of everything involved. And he brings to life these nutty fucking post-apocalyptic characters, but in a way that's believable. You could believe in the world of Mad Max that Immortan Joe would have a dude dressed all in red who only wakes up to play chords with fire coming out of his guitar. That's believable in the post-apocalyptic world of Mad Max. And it's just so perfect the way he makes it work.
Yeah, the fallout of the earth has affected all these people in different ways.
Yeah.
And they're all unique. And it's really interesting because then you pull in like the chieftains of the other areas that they form, and they're all like weirdly disfigured in different ways.
Yeah.
But they're carrying one of the like 7 deadly sins almost. And each one is representative of a different one.
It's a great,
yeah. I think it's, saying that he's gotten better, as I think the films have grown with him and he has grown with the films. Mm-hmm. So as he's matured, he's brought that maturity into it.
It's a great point.
Yeah, but I agree. He has a better handle on this, as evidenced by Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, and that's why, I know they're going to do a prequel film with Anya Taylor-Joy stepping in to play the younger version of Furiosa. And I know Charlize was unhappy about that because she really wanted to come back and play that character again. But I trust George Miller, and he's not let me down. I watched Thunderdome again on HBO Max a couple of weeks ago. It's not a bad film. I know the kids think is
it slows it down.
Right, it slows it down. But overall, it's not a bad film.
No, I like it.
There are weaker installments in other franchises than Thunderdome, and I think it's stellar. So that's why I think. I think the franchise overall is stellar, and that's why I trust him to do an incredible prequel film with Anya Taylor-Joy. So who's fucking having a moment as an actress for sure.
Bartertown is an amazing set.
So good.
It's a great place to put a story.
Who runs Bartertown?
Yeah. It's another one where the look doesn't make any sense. Why would you build a post-apocalyptic world like this? But somehow it works. Yeah.
Wow. The need for civilization, the need to feel like there's something feels like home again. That's what it's all about. It was great. All right. So then my number one, and Matt might bristle at this, is The Matrix Reloaded.
I thought about it.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if it was too much CGI, but I was like, at the end of the day, I'm like, this is just so excellent. Obviously in the world of the Matrix and the green hue, but everything on that highway with those like fucking twins that are vaping into separate cars and all that shit. Then you have
nice.
What's that, baby? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I like that. It kind of fits them better. They do seem like they would be the dudes that vape. Good for you. Totally. They got a flavor they like. They both. That's how you can tell them apart. He likes blueberry and he likes bubble gum or something. I don't know what flavors they come in. I know blueberries one.
That works. That works.
Anyway,
and then
please.
Then you have the different agents switching in the cars and all of that. Of course, everything leads to that massive slamming in of two semis head on, and him saving Neo and the Keymaster, or Neo saving Morpheus and the Keymaster. It's fucking fantastic. All these, and the music is great. Then you got, of course, Trinity on the motorcycle getting involved in the situation as well. So everything about that car chase scene is epic, and even more epic because the film is such a disappointment. That's what makes it even stand out even more as a great car chase scene.
Well, I think also to bolster your argument and counter that's too much CGI, it's the only one on this list that they built a couple miles of road for outside of San Francisco.
You're right.
I mean, they spent how many millions of dollars to build I don't even know if they use that road.
Oh, I don't even know. You mean if they've shut it down after?
It wasn't attached to anything else as far as I know. It's technically a set somewhere in the Bay Area. I know it's South Bay, south of San Francisco is where they built it.
Right.
But it's just a road they built where there was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew.
Just to film all this shit.
Stellar stuff, man.
Back when we thought that they were going to make a magnum opus.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Oof, what are you going to do? Yeah. The world's full of disappointment. You know.
Maybe on a project that large, you go the Peter Jackson route and you have them shoot all of them at once.
Well, they shot 2 and 3 back to back. So
yeah, but they had already had the success of one.
Right.
Whereas if you were constantly shooting it, maybe they would have maintained that kind of level-headedness instead of going, all right, you guys like that? Well, we had this other idea where it amps up now.
Let's try this.
Whereas they might have had a tighter arc.
Yeah.
Had there not been success in between. Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
Who can say?
Maybe 4 is the answer. Only time will tell.
Time will tell. All right, well, that's our separate top 10 car chase scenes in movies as we revisit our first ever list. We hope you enjoyed that. We're going to compile these into one list and then count them down.
Darn tootin'. All right, so I would say Fury Road is number 1.
Yes, that seems a bit correct.
And all right, so I would probably say then your number 1.
Okay, so Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got Born at 2. And you had Fury Road 3?
Yeah, Fury Road at 3.
What's your 2?
French Connection.
Oh, that's right, French Connection.
Yeah.
Flip a coin?
No, that's fine. You can put yours in since mine got on there. As number 1 got on there.
All right, French Connection. Do we want to do Baby Driver here since
yeah, sure. I'm cool with that.
Or we have that in T2.
Well, T2 is higher on my list than Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my Baby Driver's 4 on mine.
Okay. And T2 is what on yours?
What? Oh, 8, 9 for the two of us?
So yeah, Baby Driver definitely then.
Do you want to put T2 at 6?
Okay.
Because it's 8, 9, or we can add something else.
No, it's fine.
All right.
So now we're at 6, so we've got 4 left. Is that correct?
That was number 6. So yeah, we got 4 left. What's your next highest?
Death Proof at 4.
Death Proof is next.
Mission Impossible 5 Rogue Nation. The car chase scene there.
You know, I had Ronin. I would personally rather flip Dark Knight into 5. Do you want to? You can have Rogue Nation there since you were.
Okay.
I'll take Dark Knight instead.
Okay.
You know, lists change.
That's fine.
Next.
Then my next one is the Hobbs and Shaw one with the helicopter.
At what number?
6.
All right. I'll finally flip a coin. For the
What's your 6?
spot.
What's your 6?
Is now Ronin.
Oh, no. Don't flip. Put Ronin there. That makes sense. That makes sense because, like, you know, that the helicopter thing, it's iconic in a certain way, but Ronin is like what a lot of lists put in their top 10. So we'd be remiss not to include it. There it is.
We are finished.
All right, then let's count this thing down. The top 10 car chase scenes in movies. Yeah. At number 10,
Ronin.
At number 9,
The Dark Knight.
At number 8,
Rogue Nation.
At number 7,
Death Proof.
At number 6,
T2.
At number 5.
Baby Driver.
At number 4.
The French Connection.
At number 3.
The Bourne Identity.
And our number 2 spot is
The Matrix Reloaded.
And our number 1 car chase scene in the movie is
Mad Max Fury Road.
Furiosa. That's a great name, dude. Furiosa.
Mm-hmm.
Deckard
Yeah,
Shaw.
that's another thing he does.
Oh,
He brought up Humongous before.
Yeah.
But Emertan Joe.
Yeah. Toe Cutter. The Night Rider.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Really is.
So strange.
What's his face? What's the I gotta know. What's the Mohawk dude's name?
That I don't know. Lord Humongous is the only one I remember.
Yeah. Puppy. So
I know I've looked up Mohawk guy's name before, thanks to the internet, but I don't recall what it is at this point.
Wow. Wes. W-E-Z. Wes.
I'll forget that.
Played by the late great Vernon Wells, who I think passed away either this year or last year. I think. Didn't he pass away? I thought he passed away. Maybe he's still alive. No, it was Hugh Keys Burns who passed away. The first Immortan Joe passed away. That's who passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Toe Cutter.
Yes. First movie, yeah.
Yeah, then we just lost Ned Beatty too. That's brutal.
Dude, I know. I saw that.
I mean, it's not surprising.
Yeah, yeah.
He's an older guy.
I posted that network monologue because you talk about it so much. I just have been.
I love that.
It. Yeah, yeah.
His idea that corporations are the new nations. It's so stinking true, and it rings more of truth today than it did in its era. That's how fucking true that is.
Yeah, yeah. I agree, man.
Yeah. So anyway,
yeah,
could go off for 10 minutes on all that nonsense, and there is no point.
You influenced me to put that one up because I've been watching that monologue over and over again over the last year.
Yeah, I prefer that over the I'm mad as hell.
Oh yeah, 1,000% prefer it over.
Well, everybody likes the mad as hell because it's just over the top, and then the people in the movie get into it. It becomes like a cultural moment. But Ned Beatty's speech is disgustingly real.
Yeah, agreed. Oop. Let me get out of that.
That's a fun chime.
Yeah, it keeps it chill. All right. Well, there you go. That's our top 10 car chase scenes in a movie. Thank you all so much for listening or watching our show. We're available on the podcast feed if you only watch us on YouTube. And if you only listen to us, we're available on YouTube, rather. You see our pretty faces there on the YouTube channel. Matt, where can they follow us at everything we got going on, my man?
On Twitter, it's at Top 10 Show. And on YouTube and Instagram, it is /The Top 10 Podcast with the number 10. And please head over to patreon.com /The Top 10 if you want to be part of Boss Hog or join us on the live shows, get a shout out at the end of the month, send in topics to Topic Thunder, whatever the case may be. Head over to patreon.com /The Top 10 with the number 10. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Knost. Please check out Settle the Score or Dropping Dimes if you're so inclined. And that is it for me this week.
There you go. Yeah. And definitely be a part of the Patreon now more than ever. People are going back to work. You guys are going back into the offices. We've been providing you entertainment consistently, multiple shows every week to show you how dedicated we are to this fan base. So please don't forget to share the show. Don't forget to tell people about the top 10. Share your favorite episodes with them to get them to have a flavor and a taste of what we do really well, and get everybody back on board to our Patreon because we are kicking around. We certainly had a off-camera or off-mic conversation about the possibility of opening the door to live shows, but we've got to see the support come in at higher numbers at this point for us to go out on the road to do these live shows. So please, we need your help to encourage people to come aboard the top 10 train, become fans, and become patrons more than anything else to support the show so we can keep it growing and get back there out on the road and do some live shows for you. So just a little piece of my 2 cents there about it all. So please keep that in mind as you go along in your day and in your life and you hear somebody talk about movies. Yeah. But you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Please head on over to my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/John Rocha Says, trying to get over 17,000 subscribers, marching towards 20,000. Also, don't forget Cinephiles, the Geek Buddies, and all the things I do over there. So that's it for us. Much love to everybody. And we'll talk to you next time on another brand new episode of the top 10.